Few truths are as silenced as this one. But the fact that so many men only realize a woman's true value when the moment has already passed happens on an alarming scale, far beyond what most people admit. This occurs much more frequently than you imagine. It's not a coincidence, it's not the drama of someone who ended up alone, and it's definitely not something that happens by chance. There is a psychological mechanism behind it, and almost no one notices when it's happening. You feel it when you realize he suddenly changed after you moved on, even without him sending a message, even without him showing up. And the most confusing part is that his regret doesn't fade easily. It stays there gnawing at what he lost. And when this really happens, it's not because he never cared. Actually, it's exactly the opposite. If you're feeling this right now, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the revelations that are coming next, and like this video to help it reach more people who need it. A man's mind quietly builds an attachment to you while you're together, even if he doesn't show it or even notice it at the time. That emotional bond doesn't disappear when the relationship ends. It stays stored somewhere, waiting for the right moment to surface. That's why when you truly leave his life, the silence that remains isn't indifference. It's the space where that attachment starts to really hurt. He may even convince himself that he's fine, but the emptiness that appears doesn't lie. It's as if his heart had stored your value without ever telling his mind. Not every disappearance from him means he got over you or that he never really cared. Often it's exactly the opposite. He pulls away precisely because he feels too much and doesn't know how to handle it. The male brain tends to postpone acknowledging what truly matters until it's gone for good. When the door really closes, that's when regret walks in uninvited, and at that moment he finally understands what he had in his hands, but can no longer hold it. Now comes the detail almost no one pays attention to. There is a specific behavior that gives away when he still carries you inside him, even while pretending he's moved on. It's something that shows up after you disappear completely from his routine. Most men don't even realize they're doing it, and the women who notice usually doubt their own instincts. But the sign is there, clear as day, waiting for someone to see it. And when you understand what it is, everything changes. This sign isn't late-night messages or nostalgic likes on your social media photos. This sign is more subtle and more cruel to him. And it happens precisely when he tries to prove to the world, and to himself, that he's over you. Most women ignore it because it seems too small to matter, until you put the pieces together and realize that actually, this sign is the loudest silent scream he can manage. And now we reach the part where I'm going to explain exactly what this behavior is that reveals everything. When a man starts becoming more active on social media after you completely disappear, posting things he never used to post before, that's not a coincidence. Especially when the posts seem to scream, "I'm fine," or "I'm living my best life," exactly on the days he knows you might see them. He's not talking to you directly, but he's talking to you indirectly. It's an attempt to fill the silence you left with controlled noise, and the strongest part, the more forced the happy looks, the heavier the regret behind it. Now watch another sign almost no one connects. He starts interacting with content that reminds him of you or what you lived together. Songs, quotes, memes that were yours. It's not every day, but it appears at specific moments. Like birthdays or dates he pretends to have forgotten. This isn't random nostalgia. It's his subconscious testing whether there's still any echo on the other side. And when no response comes, the regret cycle only intensifies. But there's one final detail that flips the whole thing and shows whether his regret is real or just a passing phase. It's something he does or stops doing exactly when he thinks no one is watching. And this is precisely where most women misinterpret and end up fooling themselves again. This detail separates those who truly feel from those who only feel wounded ego. Pay close attention, because what comes next explains everything and can change how you react the next time he shows up. When a man finally realizes he might truly lose an emotional connection that was real, his mind immediately enters an internal war. On one side is the pride that always protected him, saying he doesn't need anyone, that he's better off alone. On the other side emerges the raw fear of never finding someone who understands him in that deep way again. This conflict isn't rational, it's biological, emotional, almost instinctive. And it's exactly in this clash that the value you had, and which he ignored, appears clearly for the first time. The brain doesn't handle well the idea of permanent loss of something valuable it considered guaranteed. That's why regret doesn't come as calm reflection. It comes as a wave of anxiety, longing mixed with self-anger. Now everything makes sense. The forced posts, the indirect messages, the heavy silence. It's not manipulation. It's pride fighting not to give in to the fear of admitting, "I messed up badly, and now she's gone." This is the moment when he feels the real weight of what he lost. This was never about chasing him to hear an "I was wrong" or demanding explanations that will probably never come complete. It's also not about proving your worth to someone who only saw it after you left the scene. What really matters is seeing clearly what's happening inside his head, without romanticizing, without demonizing, just understanding the mechanism. When you grasp this, the power shifts. You stop waiting for external validation and start trusting your own perception. Understanding this psychological process brings a maturity that can't be explained with pretty words. It's felt in your posture, in the silence you choose to keep, in the way you move forward without looking back. It's not coldness, it's clarity. You no longer need to wear yourself out trying to make him see what was already obvious. Because the one who truly recognizes your value first is you. And that's something no one can take away. The biggest mistake most people make is waiting for him to come back and say out loud what he's feeling inside, as if words could fix what silence has already revealed. In truth, real regret doesn't need a speech. It shows in the emptiness he tries to fill with anything that isn't you. When you understand this, you stop investing energy in someone who only values after the loss, and start directing that energy toward those who already see your worth in the present. This shift in focus isn't revenge. It's protection, and ironically, it's exactly when you stop waiting for him that the weight of what he lost becomes even more unbearable for him. Finally, remember, the time he takes to recognize your value now is the same time you have to recognize your own. Don't spend any more months or years trying to be seen by someone who already had every chance and chose not to see. What really matters is positioning yourself as someone who doesn't accept emotional crumbs after the full plate has already been knocked over. This clarity brings peace, brings freedom, and deep down, attracts connections that value you from day one. You deserve that, and you don't need his validation to know it. If this video made sense to you, or if you've been through something similar, leave in the comments what touched you the most or what you felt while watching. Like the video if it helped in any way, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next contents that will help you better understand these emotional dynamics. Thanks for watching all the way.